Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a vlog as well as going over my 6 tips for dealing with cravings and kind of what I do around cravings. But I thought it'd be more fun to do in a vlog format. Today I've gone to the gym already this morning. I did not film my whole workout, but if you want to see more workouts, you can check out Instagram, TikTok, or my other workout videos here on YouTube. I have quite a few. And I also got done just barely with my hour session with my life coach. I'm gonna link all of her stuff down below. Her name's Lindsay. I highly recommend her. Recommend life coaching in general. She has helped me a lot. I've worked with her for over 2 years now. Can't recommend her enough. So I'll link her down below. With all that, it's time to eat some breakfast. Today I did train fasting, but not on purpose. Some mornings I have something small to eat before we go to the gym, and other mornings I don't. It just depends on how hungry I am, but now I am hungry. So we're gonna go make some breakfast, and then once that's done, we will sit down and we'll go over our first tip for cravings. Alright guys, breakfast is ready. I'm having sourdough toast with hummus and radish microgreens, Just Egg, I love Just Egg, with pickled jalapenos. This is a new food I've been trying. This is benevolent bacon. It's seitan bacon by the brand Sweet Earth. I get it at Sprouts. It's actually pretty good. 4 grams of protein per strip. Oh, and I'm having a little cup of coffee as well. But before I continue eating my breakfast, I'm gonna give you guys my first tip for combating cravings, and that is to eat consistently and eat enough calories. If you're not eating enough, you're definitely gonna be having more cravings, and if you're taking too long of breaks between meals and you're out and about, you're definitely gonna have stronger cravings. When we're hungry, we crave food, obviously, but we also tend to crave really high calorie foods, and a lot of really high calorie foods are foods that are very palatable and processed. So foods like potato chips. This is also why they recommend not to go to the grocery store, go grocery shopping when you are really hungry, because you'll just end up spending way more money than you planned because everything sounds good and you just throw it in the cart. So that is my first tip. Make sure you're eating enough calories, make sure you're eating consistently, pack snacks with you when you go out of the house and you know you'll be away for a while. The other thing about this is, of course, it is totally normal to have a little bit more cravings when you are around your menstrual cycle, but I, for one, have a low thyroid, and before I was taking medication to fix it, my PMS cravings were through the roof and so intense. So really intense cravings can also be a sign of hormonal imbalance. If you are eating enough food, say you're around your cycle or something like that, and you feel like your cravings are out of this world, I recommend getting your blood work done with your doctor just to kind of make sure everything is where it should be in a good range. What's there to lose getting your blood work done, making sure you're healthy anyway? That's tip number 1. I'm gonna finish eating this. I'm gonna watch some YouTube because we love YouTube around here. And then I'll check back in with you next time we do something different, and we'll move on to tip number 2. Hey guys, we are getting ready for the day, doing a little bit of makeup. I'm gonna link my last Get Ready With Me up here somewhere. It is my current makeup routine, so you can check it out if you want to. But while we get ready, I'll give you tip number 2, which also kind of goes with tip number 3. So I'm gonna give you 2 tips right now. My tip number 2, second tip, I think this is a good one, and it is to create space between the trigger of your craving and taking action on your craving. So a lot of times when we wait long enough after we have our initial craving, it kind of passes and we don't really want it anymore. And there are little things you can kind of do in between. For example, say you're craving cookies, cake, whatever it is. Tell yourself, I'm going to go on a little 5-minute walk around my house, and then I can come back and have that treat, whatever it is. So a lot of the times you'll end up going on the 5-minute walk, come back, and then you'll feel like, you know what, I don't really feel like having that anymore. Because as you guys probably know, our cravings are not always because we're hungry. Sometimes they're from anxiety, or you're feeling sad. By doing an action in between, specifically an action that's gonna make you more calm, like going away from your phone and walking outside, or even meditating or something, you drop the craving. You kind of realized, oh, I was just a little anxious, a little stressed. I just needed to simmer down. I don't even really feel like eating the chips anymore. This is also nice too because I don't just say that I'm going to let myself have the food after I do my action as just like telling myself that. I really will. If I wait 5 minutes and I still want the treat, I'll have it. But this way you can kind of narrow down the times you're actually craving something because you're hungry or, you know, you haven't had it in a while, whatever, versus if you're just emotional eating or something like that. And these actions don't need to be long. It's like 5 to 10 minutes. But another action you could take is to drink a full glass of water. Once you get the trigger, say, I'm gonna drink this full glass of water, and then I can have the treat if I still want it. This one goes in line with the third tip I'm gonna give you, which is to stay hydrated. So you may have heard this before, but a lot of the times when your body is dehydrated, when you're thirsty, it will mistake it for hunger. It will kind of give you signs of being hungry, even if you're not. This way, you'll drink a full glass of water, you'll get more hydrated, and then even if you end up still having the treat, you'll probably end up eating less of it because your body's satisfied and it's hydrated. So that is tip number 2 and tip number 3. Along with the water, I usually recommend women at least to drink anywhere between about 75 ounces or like 2.2 liters of water up to like 100 ounces a day. I try to hit at least 80 to 100 ounces a day, which if you have a Stanley cup, it's 2 Stanleys, so not too bad. Alright, my makeup's done and I'm gonna take my vitamins real quick and then we're gonna go run an errand because one of my vitamins, my Balance by Alani Nu, is supposed to balance your hormones, give you a better complexion. This has actually really reduced my migraines, so I love it, but I'm out after today. So I'm gonna go pick them up at GNC and then I'm just gonna take the rest of my vitamins. I take selenium, a multivitamin, zinc, omega, and vitamin D3, liquid version. I'm gonna take all those. I filled up my water for the day. I've already had a good amount of water at the gym today, but carry this with me everywhere I go. Okay, so I saw in the last clip my makeup was not blended in, but I have a mic on my camera and when I put the mic on, I can't see myself. So I already know, I already rubbed it in, okay? That actually happens to me quite often. I think I've talked about it before, that Dallin, my husband, has to tell me that my makeup's not rubbed in all the way. I'm not with anybody right now. You guys had to tell me, kind of. Okay, we're going to GNC, we're in the car, and GNC is right next to Target. We do need some hand soap for the bathroom, so you know we might take a short stroll through Target because who doesn't love that, right? Oh. Don't vlog and drive. We're done at the store. I picked up the supplement and then at Target I got hand soap, concealer, a new concealer by e.l.f. I've been trying that I actually like a lot, and some Alani Nus. They also had those same Alani Nus at GNC in a big pack, but I did the math and the price was the exact same. And I don't need that many energy drinks in my fridge, just a few. So we only grabbed a few. I took that zinc supplement, obviously before we left, took my vitamins. But if you don't know this, when you take zinc, it can sometimes make you nauseous, especially if you're on an empty stomach, which I mean I shouldn't be. It's been a little while since I ate, but man, in the middle of Target, I was like, what? We're back from the store and I'm hungry. We're gonna make some lunch. It's 111, 111. It's my angel numbers, you guys. 111. Once I make lunch, when we sit down, I'm gonna give you tip number 4 because it's gonna go along with what I'm making for lunch. Can't wait. Here's a little hint.
Walk into the place, a spot you from a ways. My heart, it started racing. The crowd across the way, flowers on your face, and then I'm from the 80s. Someone keeps blocking my way.
Meal is done cooking, and that brings us to tip number 4, which is when you have a craving, to create a healthier version of your craving. So there's multiple ways to do this. The way I did it today, I'm having a basic packaged ramen noodles, and then I added a bunch more nutrients into it. So I put tofu in there for some protein, mushrooms, onion, and then microgreens all on top just to give it good nutrients. add something to it. But I love ramen. Packaged ramen, you just gotta admit, it has the best flavor, it's got the best noodle texture, delicious. So the other way you could do this, which I have the ingredients to do, I just didn't want to do it today, and that would be to make your own healthier ramen all across the board. So there are rice ramen noodles. I'll show them to you. It's a mess in here, you guys. Okay, so this is the regular Lotus Foods rice ramen. I cook these noodles sometimes, and then I use a vegetable bouillon broth, which is all organic and healthy, seasoned vegetable broth. So I could have, yes, made my own completely healthier version of ramen, but today I wanted packaged ramen. Okay, so I just made it a little bit healthier by adding more nutrition to it. So there's healthier versions of almost all foods. A good sugar replacement I like is coconut sugar. It has a lower glycemic index, so it doesn't spike your blood sugar. So you can start baking with that instead of regular table sugar, whatever you call it. Whole grains instead of white. Just kind of get creative with it. Look into what you're craving. See if there's healthier options. See if you can, you know, whip something up. You still want it to be enjoyable. Yeah, it's all about balance, right guys? So get creative in the kitchen and still eat foods you love. Guys, I'm having a craving. So I'm gonna put one of our tools to use right now. I'm craving one of those Alani Nu berry pop drinks that I just got. It's in my fridge. It's there waiting for me. But before I drink it, because I've already had maybe 150 milligrams of caffeine today, and that would be another 200, which I probably don't need. Anyway, I'm gonna clean the kitchen for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're gonna make a decision on what we should do about the caffeine situation. I don't know, you guys, that flavor is my favorite. If you drink Alani Nus, let me know what your favorite flavor is. At one point was having an Alani Nu like every day of the week. Not very good. But now I have them, it's like a little treat here and there. So my intake's gotten a lot better. But with that said, I really need to fold laundry and I really don't want to. So I think I'm gonna start, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go fold laundry. We can do hard things, right? Okay, this is our little pile of laundry we got going. Also, today's a really sunny, nice day. The weather's getting great here in Utah. And I'm tempted to go lay out at the pool and read because I love that. I also have been doing a lot of Audible, so I could also just listen to a book. So I think if I will reward myself if I get this laundry folded, I'll reward myself with a little stroll to the pool. All right, we folded that load of laundry, and now I'm gonna go to the pool. And I decided a compromise on the caffeine. Instead of the 200 milligrams in the Alani Nu, we're gonna do 100 milligrams from my Amino Burn. I've talked about this before, I'll link it down below. It's a really good, clean pre-workout, pina colada flavored, sounds like a pool drink, and half of the caffeine of an Alani Nu. Okay, so we're gonna do one full scoop of that into my Stanley with some ice and water. It's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna bring this book to the pool with me, Loot Lab, and then I also have some audiobooks I could listen to. So we'll do both. We came home from the pool, and by we, I mean me. Almost 5:30, it's 5:20. I spent probably like 2 hours at the pool or so, and I read a good amount of my Glue Lab book, and then I was also listening to my book on Audible. I'm gonna show you. Ask and It Is Given, The Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks. If you guys have heard of Abraham Hicks, it's just like the whole law of attraction stuff. And I figured, since I was kind of over reading, that I would now clean the kitchen and listen to my Audible out loud and light some candles, set a good vibe in here, maybe take Mana to where he wants to go. Hi, Mana. I'm also a little bit bloated from my meal, but it's okay. But we're not hungry yet. When we are hungry, I'll show you what I'm eating, but it's probably gonna be a while. protein shake because I'm not bloated anymore. I'm feeling better. So I made this in my last what I eat in a day. But if you didn't watch it, I'll go over it again. Pea protein from Amazon. Tastes like crap, but great macros. And then I mix it with a little of this Orgain. I was doing a half a serving of Orgain, yummy tasting protein, half a serving of pea protein, but lately, Dallin, my husband, showed me that he does a full serving of pea protein, half a scoop of this. So it tastes somewhat better, but you get like a whopping 34 grams of protein. That's what we're gonna do. So my tip number 5 is to not keep your red zone foods in your house. Now this might be a little bit more difficult if you live with other people or your spouse or whoever. Anyway, what a red zone food is, so you can kind of put foods on a spectrum for yourself and your preferences. There are green zone foods, which is foods that are really nourishing, satiating, foods that you don't have a tendency to want to overeat on. You have your yellow zone foods, which are foods that are probably a little bit more processed, but again, you don't really have much of a tendency to overeat on. And red zone foods are the foods specific to you that you have an issue with not overeating or possibly binging on. Some of my red zone foods are salt and vinegar chips, hip peas. If you've seen those white cheddar vegan hip pea Cheetos, some people will tell me they don't like those, and I am just baffled because I've literally had emotional breakdowns over them. So those two are really big trigger foods, not trigger foods, but they're really big red zone foods for me, because when I go to eat them, it's very hard for me to have a normal serving size. I want to eat the whole bag a lot of the time. There are foods that are tasty to you and maybe not the most nutritiously dense, but you can keep them in your house without them being a problem. And then there are the foods where if you know they're in the house, you're gonna have a problem. In your brain, go through what you think your red zone foods are and do your best to not have them in the house. If we ever do get, say, the hip peas, because Dallin likes them too, this might seem weird, but I would have him hide them, like put them on the top shelf in the very back so they were out of sight, out of mind. Plus he's taller than me and he can reach them easily. But that way, if I'm not seeing them, I kind of forget that we have them. So if that is an issue with you and you live with other people that have that love the same foods that you do, maybe see what you can do about that, find a compromise. But that is a big tip for avoiding extreme cravings, because I believe that the red zone foods, the foods you tend to overeat on easily, are the foods that you will crave the most when you're having really strong cravings. If on any of these tips you guys have further questions or want further clarification, you just let me know in the comments down below, okay? Okay, now my protein shake is all in there. I'm just gonna mix it with water. If you have good tasting protein, sometimes it's yummy to like make it in a smoothie. Put ice in it, put some plant milk in it. But when you're drinking pea protein from Amazon, you don't want to do that. You don't want to savor it. You're trying to choke it down. Okay, do it for the gains. Guys, I'm gonna start making dinner because Dallin's probably gonna be home soon. If you can tell, I'm like in a silly, goofy mood. I feel like at the beginning of my vlog, sometimes I feel like a little awkward and I'm like not myself, and then by the end I'm like being a freak, you know? So stay tuned. Hopefully someday I can be a freak from the beginning. Okay, we're making artichokes. Artichokes are my favorite vegetable. They're so delicious. It's such an experience to eat them. So I'll show you how I make them. Okay, here's the little beauties. It's actually really easy to make. I just put them in this pot, this big pot, fill it all the way to the top with water. So I'm gonna do that real quick off camera. And then we're gonna get a lid. Ideally, I think you'd have an even bigger pot because the water always boils over. Last thing you need is some vinegar. Now, ideally, it would be a white vinegar, but all we have is rice vinegar, and it's been working every time I've made them lately. So I just put a good splash in there. And then we're gonna put the heat of the stove between medium and high, cover the pot. Once it kind of starts to boil is when I'm going to set the timer. And with artichokes, I cook them for 1 hour, and then they're done. That's it. How easy was that? Now, mind you, this is not a dinner because there's like literally like 12 calories in the whole artichoke. But I'll probably pick a protein source to eat it with, and then I dip the little leaves in like a vegan butter lemon mixture. Let's see what options we got for protein. Dallin's home, you guys. It's 8:30.
Artichoke.
Yep, so the artichokes are done. We're eating them right now. Yum. We also just bought the first season of The Office because we were just saying that it's a classic and I'll probably watch it for the rest of my life. And then we cooked some sweet potatoes in the oven, and we're gonna make like a sweet potato tofu. Wait, you gotta pause this. I don't wanna get copyrighted. Sweet potato tofu concoction for dinner. And then I'll give you guys the last tip of the day. Hello guys. It is actually the next day. We got to bed kind of late last night, so I just figured I would finish the vlog, the tips today, which is perfect because I'm having a little treat, a little craving of these Taki wave chips. This has kind of been a new thing for me. They're so good. But I just put a good serving size in there. It's like the crumbles because it's the very bottom of the bag. But that brings me to tip number 6, my final tip. Also one of my favorite tips for when you're having a craving, to just allow yourself to have what you're craving, but to have a normal portion size and eat it slowly and enjoy it thoroughly. Don't let any guilty feelings come in. Just sit with it and just love it. Because we all love certain foods that maybe aren't the best for us, and it's totally fine to give in to your cravings every now and then. With all of these tips that I've given you guys, it's completely up to you, and only you are gonna know which tip is going to apply at the time. If you're having cravings often and you're constantly giving in to them, you're probably not going to reach whatever physique, weight loss, health goals you have. So yes, there needs to be some kind of give and take with times that you do give into your cravings and times that you don't. Again, you're gonna be the one who's gonna know the best for yourself and what decisions you've made leading up to this certain craving. Just go with your gut, trust yourself, enjoy your food. It's all about balance. So with all that said, I hope you found some helpful, useful information out of this that can help you with your cravings. I hope you also are striving to have a healthy, balanced relationship with food. You do not need to demonize any foods. Just focus on nourishing your body, but also enjoying the food you're eating. But I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. You're gonna leave any comments down below, videos you'd like to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!